Alright guys, I'm back with more Dokkan Battle, and here we have some interesting information about version Z. Now, if you don't know what version Z is, that's alright. Even I don't really fully understand what it is in terms of the concept, but the best that I understand is that it was talked about during a Dragon Ball event. It was called the Dragon Ball Power Hour, Battle Hour, something like that. And all of the Dragon Ball games like Legends and Fighter Z, for instance, even Xenoverse, I believe, they just had a whole bunch of announcements and stuff. It was a fun little live stream. And Dokkan really didn't have any new information for us during that live stream, but the only thing we got was something called version Z, and it was announced first there. And we really haven't heard anything about that until now. So it's interesting that we have some information about it. It was dropped a little bit after the 350 million download celebration live streams, the Dokkan Now and the JP stream. And, you know, I've been waiting for the banners. I took a little nap waiting for the banners, and I didn't actually see this information until now, so I'm a little bit late with this, but what can you do? So we're just going to take a look at it. But before we do, I just want to say this. Now, version Z, I have no idea what I'm talking about, by the way, when I start going into this, but a lot of people have been assuming it's going to be a complete back-end overhaul of the game, the way it's coded, basically. Now, I don't know anything about coding, I don't know anything about that type of stuff, so I can't really speak about it like I am some sort of guru, but from what I understand from things I've read is that Dokkan, the way it's coded, is just sloppy. Well, not sloppy, but it's just very archaic, very outdated, rather, is a better way to describe it. And that's why there are limitations to the game. Things like they don't have HD arts, HD files, and stuff of that nature. And they're just limited in what they can do in terms of new content, limited what they can do in terms of implementing new features because of the way that the game was first made. So a lot of people have been predicting that version Z is going to be a complete overhaul. I guess, you know, fixing a lot of the code. I have no idea if that's even a thing with the, you know, what version Z is actually going to do. But everyone just expects a whole slew of big changes with version Z, and it just basically became a wish list. People want HD arts, and people want things like a jukebox that you can have all of the OSTs on, and stuff like that. New UIs, friend system updates, stuff like that. All of it is desired when version Z arrives. And with that being said, here's the first information about version Z that we actually have. So there are 3 points, as you may shout out to Asuna once again for the information, as well as Goresh, which we will take a look at his tweets in a second. But there are 3 points, main points. To make the game from the start, don't really understand what that means. Make the game easier to play, adding various adjustments in content. So the various adjustments in content, that's what most people really want to talk about or learn about, what they're going to plan to do with in terms of that. Things like the friend system updates and such. But what we know is that there's going to be a tutorial revamp, new character from the tutorial. It will have the Saiyan Saga story as seen with the image of Raditz. They will unveil the new character in the future. And apparently version Z is slated to be the first part of the update is slated to come on the very end of this year, winter 2021, which is not that long if you think about it from now. It's, you know, almost September, so maybe 3 months or so until then. Very interesting. So looking at Goresh's tweets, there will be a little bit more sort of information here. So version Z will be rolled out over a long period of time, and part 1 will be deployed this winter, which is centered around improving the game for new users. There will be new characters obtainable in a new and improved tutorial featuring Goku and Piccolo from the Raditz fight. So that is very, very good. I'm very happy that this is what they're doing as the very start of version Z. I can't begin to tell you how much I struggled at the beginning of the game. you basically don't learn anything from the tutorial, and the only reason why I wasn't completely lost is because I already watched the gameplay, and I watched the game for a while before I actually started playing it, and I also had a couple of very, very, very nice people take time out of their day to sort of answer any and all questions that I have had about Dokkan in the first, 2-3 months I've been playing, until now, where, I'm more of a veteran now, even though I've only been playing for, 1 3/4 of a year, so almost 2 years, but it really was a poor new player experience, if we're talking about not a person re-rolling an account who has previous experience, but like a brand new player. Imagine you're a brand new player, you see the 350 million download celebration trending, the Dokkan Battles trending and everything, and they're like, let me download this game, it looks sweet. And they jump into the game and they're like, what's happening? And that's really sad, because that would drive away a lot of people. So I really like that they are going to first work on improving the tutorial, improving the new user experience, which I think is where you gotta start, because you have to start with the beginning of the player base, the new player base, so that way you can nurture it and they can become, returning players, and eventually, it's always going to help their bottom line. Players stick around, maybe they'll spend some money. So it's a win-win for literally everybody, for the community, for new players, and for Bamco in general. Existing players will be able to obtain these characters as well, and the update will also help existing players have an easier time playing the game. No specifics of this were given. As of now, no news of friend system updates or anything of that nature, but we will have to see. So, as I said, friend system updates is pretty much what everyone is hoping for from version Z. Honestly, I want to see things from version Z like game size reduction, or at least a way to play the game on emulator, or something like that. Not like BlueStacks, but maybe like the Microsoft App Store, so you can play on a Windows PC via the Microsoft App Store or something like that. They really need a way to sort of trim down the game, especially if they decide to go the whole 9 yards and add HD arts, revamped enemy sprites, so when you're doing your super attacks, you don't have this goofy looking character getting hit, like zoom close in too, so you can just see it's just such poor artwork on the zoomed in sprites. But you can sort of understand where I'm going with this. Things like HD arts, high quality audio, improved enemy sprites, improved sprites for characters, things like that will take up so much space. And the reason why I started to not enjoy Dokkan is when I was basically getting storage space, dangerously low alerts on my phone every single time I played the game, and eventually it was just there permanently. And I couldn't play both JP and Global at the same time on my phone because both of them just wouldn't fit. I have 16 gigabytes of space, and they both just wouldn't fit. Well, 16 gigabytes, but when you have all that bloatware from your carrier and you can't uninstall it. But things like that, I would like to see them being able to allow you to move the game onto an SD card, something like that. I don't know if that's possible, but I'm a little bit wary of that type of stuff when it comes to HD arts and everything, but that people want that. With that being said, this is a really great first step with version Z. As it said, it will be rolled out over a long period of time. I'm assuming when they say long period of time, it's going to be like a Windows 10 situation where they say this is the final iteration of Windows, we are not making other Windows. Back when Windows 10 was being talked about, as it wasn't even out yet, or when it just first came out, you know what I mean? Where it will just continuously be worked on, and it'll just be a version Z continuously being worked on. And with the first update coming in winter of 2021, which isn't far away, there will be a lot of stuff happening, especially on Global, because in December we have Tanabata celebration stuff coming on Global, which will become the Christmas celebration, or the thank you. Actually, no, it's not the thank you celebration, it is the Christmas celebration. So if it comes out in December, then wow, we've got quite a bit of stuff to do, assuming that there's going to be a new Goku and Piccolo unit. Maybe it's combined. I don't think it's combined, actually. I think they're separate units. Let me actually scroll down and see. Do they actually have a picture of them? I don't think they do. But, yeah, we are going to have some new units. Probably going to have... Maybe they'll update the story. I mean, I would really like them to update the story as well. I think that would be great for every single player in the game, no matter if they're newer or old veterans. Having updates to the story, or just revamping the story in general, resetting the story for people, because some people have been completing the story and they just don't have that source of stones for years now. And it becomes painful as a free-to-play player when you don't have a source of stones besides new content. But this is great news. Version Z, the first batch of information is out, and it is aiming to improve the new user experience, which I think is absolutely fantastic. Hopefully, version Z will bring a lot of what people have been wanting, things like the friend system updates. Hopefully, they continue this sort of good momentum, upward trajectory rather, that the game has been having this year. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to version Z news now, especially because they're actually doing substantial updates, not just little tweaks like, oh, you know, we're gonna add like updated sprites, or which I don't really care about. You know, like at the end of the day, I don't really care about HD art. I don't care about updated sprites. I care about the game getting major improvements to the core gameplay, major improvements to the user experience, and yeah, that's all I can really say about that. So, thank you guys for watching, and until next time, well actually not next time, but I will be going live soon with the 350 million download celebration summons. So if you guys are somehow on when this video gets uploaded, you can check that out, or the live stream VOD will be on my channel. But until next time, guys, thank you for watching, and I will see you guys later.